Captain Aaron Vale adjusted the controls of the small shuttle as it descended toward the alien world. The planet's surface shimmered in shades of green and blue, unlike anything he had ever seen. Tall, crystalline towers pierced the sky, reflecting the light of the distant sun in dazzling patterns. A faint hum filled the air, a sound that seemed alive, almost as if the planet itself was breathing. Aaron's heart beat faster. The distress signal they had intercepted had been weak, but it had carried a sense of urgency that no one could ignore. He glanced at his team seated behind him, skilled explorers, medics, and engineers, each focused and ready for whatever awaited them. Among them, he felt the familiar surge of responsibility. He was the captain, and they trusted him to make the right decisions. The shuttle landed softly on a plateau near a vast, crystalline forest. Strange luminescent plants swayed in the gentle breeze, and streams of sparkling liquid ran like veins across the terrain. The team stepped out, their boots crunching against the alien soil, and immediately noticed the signs of struggle. Craters and scorched ground indicated a recent battle. Aaron's comlink buzzed. "Sensors detect life signs ahead," said Lyra, the team's biologist. "One strong, several weaker." "Lead the way," Aaron replied, gripping his medkit tightly. As they moved cautiously through the crystalline forest, the landscape shifted. Giant trees with translucent leaves towered above them, casting prismatic shadows. The air smelled, faintly sweet, almost like honey but with a metallic undertone. Then among the trees they saw her. The alien Queen Zyra lay against a large crystal. Her body slumped and one arm twisted at an unnatural angle. Her armor was torn and scorched, and her skin had a faint iridescent glow that pulsed weakly. Even in her weakened state, she radiated authority. Her eyes opened slowly as she sensed the humans approaching. Large, dark orbs that held both curiosity and caution. Aaron stepped forward carefully, kneeling beside her. "We are here to help," he said, his voice calm but firm. Zyra's gaze studied him for a long moment. She seemed unsure, as if deciding whether to trust these strangers. Finally, she inclined her head slightly, a gesture that Aaron interpreted as permission to assist. "Her injuries are serious but not critical," Lyra whispered. "We need to stabilize her before we move her." Aaron opened his medkit and began examining the queen. Her armor had deep scorches and small cracks where energy blasts had struck. The wound on her shoulder was bleeding faintly, glowing with her alien blood that shimmered like liquid silver. "Do you understand me?" Aaron asked gently, unsure if she could comprehend human speech. Zyra's lips moved, and a faint vibration came from her throat, a sound almost like a hum. Lyra leaned closer with a translator device which interpreted the vibration into broken words. "Pain. Trust. Healer." Aaron nodded. "We will help you. You are safe with us." He worked quickly, carefully removing shards of broken armor and cleansing the wound with a biogel designed for alien physiology. Zyra flinched at first but did not pull away. Her breathing was uneven, shallow, but she did not resist. Aaron felt a strange connection. Though they were entirely different species, there was a mutual understanding forming, a bridge of trust, built in silence. Around them, the forest seemed to pulse with energy, almost like it was aware of the queen's presence. Small glowing insects drifted lazily through the air, lighting the scene with gentle, colorful glows. Aaron could feel the weight of the moment. This was more than a simple rescue. It was the beginning of something larger, something that could change the way humans and this alien species viewed each other. The ground trembled faintly, reminding Aaron that they were still in danger. The battle that had injured Zyra might not be over. He glanced at his team who were setting up protective barriers and scanning for threats. "Captain," Lyra said quietly, "I think we're not alone. There are life signs moving through the forest, small, fast predators, maybe scouts." Aaron's hand tightened on his medkit. "Stay calm, focus on the queen first. We'll handle any threats if they appear." Time passed slowly as Aaron worked. He applied a special healing gel to the wound and carefully aligned the queen's arm. Zyra stiffened as he touched her shoulder, and a faint vibration passed through her body. "Only my consort may touch me there," she whispered. The words were strange and foreign. but Aaron understood them as a signal of the deep trust she required, something humans could respect, even if they could not yet fully comprehend it. "I understand," Aaron said softly. "I will be careful. I am here to heal, nothing more." The Queen's eyes softened and she allowed him to continue. Aaron finished applying the biogel and wrapped a flexible band around her arm. Slowly her breathing began to even out, and the faint glow of her skin strengthened slightly. "Good," Lyra said, her voice filled with relief. "She's stable. Not out of danger, but stable." Aaron nodded, wiping sweat from his brow. He looked at Zyra and realized that they were standing at the start of a partnership, one that could bridge the gap between two very different worlds. The forest was quiet now, but the feeling of being watched lingered. Aaron gestured for his team to stay alert while he spoke to the Queen again. "We need to move you to safety. Can you walk or shall we carry you?" Zyra considered, then slowly pushed herself upright. Her movements were cautious, but she did not resist. With Aaron supporting her lightly, she began to step forward. As they moved through the alien landscape, Aaron noticed the strange beauty of the world, the crystalline trees, the shimmering streams, and the faint auroras that danced across the sky. It was breathtaking, but he knew that beauty could hide danger. He would need to stay vigilant, not just for the Queen, but for his team and the future of the mission. Hours later, they reached a hidden cavern deep within the forest, illuminated by bioluminescent fungi. It was a natural sanctuary, shielded from outside threats. Aaron helped Zyra settle on a raised platform of stone, ensuring her wounds were secure and that she could rest comfortably. "You are safe here," Aaron said quietly. "Rest, recover. We will protect you." Zyra's eyes met his, and for the first time there was a flicker of something like recognition, a silent acknowledgement that this human, so different from her own kind, could be trusted. Outside the cavern, shadows moved silently through the crystalline forest. The battle was not over and danger still lurked. But for now, in that quiet, glowing sanctuary, a fragile bond had formed between a human and the alien Queen. It was the beginning of an extraordinary journey, one where courage, intelligence, and trust would be tested, and where humanity might prove that even in the vastness of the universe, they had a place among the stars. Captain Aaron Vale sat beside Zyra, watching over her as she rested. The universe outside was uncertain, full of threats and challenges, but inside the cavern there was a moment of peace. It was a moment that would mark the start of something greater, a connection that could shape the destiny of two worlds. And as the alien light danced across her iridescent skin, Aaron knew this was only the beginning. The hidden cavern was quiet, lit only by the soft glow of bioluminescent fungi that climbed the walls like living lanterns. Captain Aaron Vale sat near the alien Queen Zyra, watching her breathing even out as the healing gel he had applied worked its way into her tissue. Even in rest, Zyra seemed regal, her iridescent skin pulsing faintly, almost like the rhythm of a heartbeat that belonged to the planet itself. Aaron felt a mixture of awe and responsibility. This was more than a rescue mission. It was the beginning of a connection that could define the relationship between humans and Zyra's people. His mind replayed her whispered words, "Only my consort may touch me there." Though he didn't fully understand the meaning, he knew it symbolized trust, a trust humans rarely received from beings so different from them. Lyra, the team biologist, approached carefully, scanning Zyra with her portable analyzer. "Her vitals are stabilizing," she said softly. "The biogel is working faster than I expected, but there are internal injuries we cannot see. We'll need to monitor her closely." Aaron nodded. "Understood. Make sure we know if anything changes." He glanced at the Queen, who was now sitting upright, her movements slow and deliberate. Despite her injuries, her posture was still commanding, and her eyes, though tired, seemed alert. For the next few hours, Aaron and his team worked to understand Zyra's physiology. Her body was unlike anything they had encountered, an intricate combination of bioluminescent tissue, crystalline bone structures, and fluid that carried energy instead of just nutrients. Lyra marveled at the design. "She's incredible," she whispered. "Every part of her body seems optimized for survival. Humans, we could never evolve this way." Aaron smiled faintly. "We don't have her biology, true, but humans have. Something she might not expect. Creativity, adaptability, and empathy. Sometimes that counts just as much as strength." Zira watched them silently, as if listening without fully participating. Then slowly she spoke, her voice a soft vibration that the translator converted into broken English. "You understand, healer. You do not fear me." Aaron bowed his head slightly. "Fear is not helpful here. I am here to help you, nothing more." The Queen's eyes softened, and she allowed him to move closer. Aaron checked her arm again, carefully, touching the edges of the bandage to ensure it was secure. Zara tensed at first, then relaxed when she realized he meant no harm. "Your species' rituals," Aaron said gently. "I do not understand them fully, but I promise to respect them." Zira inclined her head. Trust earned, slowly. "Human." The translator broke her words into short phrases, but the meaning was clear. Trust was not given freely, even to those who came to help. Aaron felt honored that she was allowing him into her personal space. Outside, the wind shifted, carrying the faint sounds of movement through the crystalline forest. Aaron's team remained alert, scanning for threats. The battle that had injured Zira might have been over, but danger still lingered. Small shadows flickered between the trees, and faint vibrations traveled through the ground. Lyra leaned close to Aaron. "Captain, life signs are moving nearby. Could be predators or scouts from rival factions." Aaron nodded. "Stay focused on the Queen. We can handle threats if they appear. Right now, she needs us." As the hours passed, Aaron continued the delicate work of healing Zira. He applied patches of biogel to small abrasions and used a gentle energy field to stabilize minor fractures. Zira watched silently, occasionally humming low vibrations that the team interpreted as approval. Each sound, each flicker of her glowing skin, told Aaron that she was slowly beginning to trust him. Then, a new challenge arose. Zira's breathing shifted suddenly and her body stiffened. Her eyes locked on Aaron and she whispered again, "Only my consort may touch me there." Aaron paused, unsure what to do. He had respected her personal boundaries from the beginning, and he did not want to overstep. But he also knew that hesitation could worsen her condition. He spoke softly, carefully choosing his words. "I understand, Queen Zira. I will be careful. I am here to help you heal, that is all." The Queen's glowing eyes softened. She allowed him to adjust her shoulders slightly, aligning it with care. The moment was delicate, a balance between trust, healing, and respect for cultural boundaries. Aaron's hands moved slowly, deliberately, ensuring each motion caused no discomfort. As he worked, he noticed the subtle ways her body responded. Her breathing became steadier, her glow brighter, and her eyes closed in a moment of relief. For Aaron, it was a small victory, but a significant one. He had earned a piece of her trust, and that trust could become the foundation for much greater cooperation. Lyra whispered from the side, "Captain, the Queen's energy is stabilizing. Whatever you're doing is helping." Aaron nodded, grateful for her observation. "Keep monitoring. We need to be sure she's fully stable before moving." By evening, Zira was resting more comfortably, supported by soft cushions of alien moss the team had gathered. The bioluminescent fungi bathed the cavern in gentle light, and the shadows danced across the walls, creating an atmosphere of calm. For the first time since their arrival, Aaron allowed himself to relax slightly. He sat beside Zira, observing the subtle rhythms of her glowing skin. Despite the injuries and the danger outside, there was a sense of serenity in the cavern. He could feel the beginnings of a bond forming, not just between healer and patient, but between human and alien, between two species that might never have met under ordinary circumstances. "Captain Aaron," Zira said softly, her voice almost a vibration against his chest, "you different." Human. Unusual. Brave. Aaron smiled faintly. We try our best, he said gently. Sometimes we surprise even ourselves. She hummed, a soft vibration that Lyra's translator converted. Brave. You trust. Worthy. The words carried weight. In Zira's culture, trust was earned slowly and carefully. For a human to gain her trust, even in part, was a remarkable achievement. Aaron felt both pride and humility. Outside the cavern, the shadows shifted again. Faint lights flickered through the forest, evidence that the danger from the battle had not entirely passed. Aaron knew that the Queen's survival depended not only on his skills, but also on vigilance. The team began setting up defensive barriers, using both human technology and the Queen's alien energy crystals, which responded to motion and emitted a protective field. Hours turned into night, and the glow from the fungi created a luminous ceiling above the cavern. Aaron remained at Zira's side, speaking softly in an attempt to ease her mind. They did not share a common language fully, but actions, tone, and patience were universal. He showed her how to rest comfortably, how to adjust the cushions beneath her, and how to allow the healing gel to work without interference. As the night deepened, Aaron thought about the days ahead. The Queen's species was clearly advanced, with technology and rituals far beyond human understanding. Yet humans had something Zira's kind might not fully appreciate: resilience, creativity, and empathy. It was these traits, Aaron believed, that would allow humans to form bonds with alien civilizations and survive in worlds where brute strength alone was not enough. Zira stirred slightly, her glowing eyes opening. She looked at Aaron with a new expression, a mix of curiosity and cautious admiration. Human, healer, unusual, good. Aaron bowed his head slightly. Thank you, Queen Zira. That means a lot. The night passed with quiet vigilance. The team kept watch, scanning the forest for movement while Aaron stayed close to the Queen, ready to act if her condition changed. By morning, Zira was stronger, her glow steady, her breathing even. The bond between healer and Queen had deepened, establishing a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Aaron realized that this was just the beginning. The planet outside the cavern was unpredictable, filled with dangers, mysteries, and challenges. But for the first time, he felt confident that humans and Zira's species could work together. They had started to understand each other, and that understanding could become the key to survival, and perhaps to something greater. The sun rose, over the crystalline forest, casting light across the alien landscape. Aaron stood beside Zira, gazing out at the beauty and the unknown dangers beyond. The mission had begun as a simple rescue, but it was evolving into a story of trust, courage, and the potential of humans to thrive where others might fail. And as Zira's glowing form adjusted to the morning light, Aaron knew that the real journey, the journey of cooperation, understanding, and adventure, was only just beginning. The hidden cavern had become a temporary sanctuary for Captain Aaron Vale and his team. The soft glow of bioluminescent fungi cast long, dancing shadows across the walls, and the faint hum of the planet's energy pulsed gently beneath their feet. Yet despite the quiet, tension hung in the air. The battle that had brought the alien Queen Zira here was far from over, and scouts from rival factions could still be lurking in the crystalline forest. Aaron helped Zira adjust to a sitting position on the stone platform. She moved slowly, every motion deliberate, yet there was a visible improvement in her posture. Her wounds, now stabilized with the biogel and energy patches, allowed her to sit upright with some dignity. Even injured, she exuded authority, and Aaron could see why her people revered her as their queen. "You're stronger than you look," Aaron said softly, scanning her for any signs of discomfort. Zira hummed, the translator converting the vibration to words. "Strength comes from more than body, human." Her glowing eyes focused on him, carrying a mix of curiosity and cautious respect. Aaron nodded. "Yes, humans survive with brains, hearts, and courage. We adapt, we plan, and we endure. That is how we face dangers." Outside the cavern, the forest stirred. Shadows shifted between the crystalline trees and faint vibrations traveled through the ground. Aaron's team activated protective fields around the cavern entrance, energy barriers that shimmered like liquid glass. The barriers were weak against heavy attack, but they provided early warning and slowed intruders. Lyra leaned toward Aaron. "Captain, the life signs in the forest are moving closer. These aren't ordinary predators, they're organized like scouts. We need to prepare for confrontation." Aaron nodded. "Agreed. But the priority is Zyra. We must protect her first. Fight second." He looked back at the Queen. "Your people's enemies are still here. We will face them together." Zyra's eyes glimmered as if acknowledging the statement. Together, yes. Human, healer, trusted. Over the next several hours, Aaron and his team helped Zyra prepare for the coming trial. They moved her to a slightly larger chamber in the cavern system, one that could be defended more effectively. Lyra and the engineers worked with alien energy crystals to strengthen the barriers, combining human technology with Zyra's species' natural power. Aaron watched carefully. His mind was racing with strategies, balancing defense and mobility. "We may not know exactly how they fight," he said quietly, "but we do know human tactics, planning, improvising, and staying calm under pressure. That will be our strength." Zyra observed silently, occasionally humming low vibrations that the translator interpreted as encouragement. She seemed to recognize that humans, though physically weaker, could contribute in ways her species did not anticipate. Suddenly, the ground trembled. The vibrations were subtle at first, then stronger, like footsteps approaching in a deliberate rhythm. Aaron's team immediately readied their scanners and weapons. Shadows moved between the crystalline trees outside the cavern, showing humanoid shapes that advanced steadily. "They're coming," Aaron said, his voice calm but firm. "Remember, humans are clever. We don't always need brute force. Use strategy, use environment, stay sharp." The first wave of scouts entered the clearing, outside the barrier. Their bodies were armored, sleek, and agile. Their glowing eyes scanned the cavern, searching for signs of the Queen. The team could see their weapons energy-based and clearly designed to incapacitate without killing, likely to capture the Queen alive. Aaron gestured to his team. "Hold your positions. Wait for my signal." The scouts approached cautiously, testing the barrier with small energy pulses. The protective field shimmered and absorbed the impact. Lyra adjusted the energy crystals, creating a feedback loop that amplified the barrier's strength. Zyra's eyes widened slightly. Human, clever, healer, strong. Aaron felt a surge of determination. "We can do this," he whispered. "Together we are stronger than they expect." He initiated the plan. Using the cavern's natural geometry, the team directed energy pulses from the crystals to create confusing reflections and false shadows. The scouts hesitated, unsure of what was real. Humans, Aaron knew, excelled at improvisation, and he used that advantage to outthink the enemy. The scouts advanced further, but the barriers and clever use of light and reflection slowed their progress. Aaron and his team prepared for direct confrontation if needed. They positioned energy nets and traps along likely paths, ready to disable intruders without causing permanent harm. Zyra watched closely, her body still recovering, but her mind sharp. She hummed vibrations which the translator rendered: learn, adapt, human, worthy. Hours passed in tense preparation. The scouts tested, retreated, and returned repeatedly. Each time, Aaron's team adapted, using their combined knowledge of strategy and technology to stay one step ahead. The Queen's presence inspired them. Her quiet authority, even in injury, reminded them why they fought, not just to protect her but for the possibility of building trust between two species. Finally, the scouts paused. They had realized that the humans' strategy was not easily broken. Aaron stepped forward, signaling calm. He spoke to Zyra. "We can show them that humans can fight with brains, not just strength. Are you ready?" Zyra inclined her head, a soft vibration coming from her throat. Yes. Human. Leader. Trusted. Aaron activated the energy crystals in sequence, creating a dazzling display of light and motion. The reflections confused the scouts, making it seem as if more defenders were present than actually existed. Simultaneously, the team used low-frequency pulses to disorient the intruders, slowing their advance. The scouts tried to regroup, but Aaron anticipated their moves. He directed the energy pulses to funnel them into narrow paths, where traps immobilized them temporarily. The scouts realized that brute force alone would not succeed against humans who could think and adapt. Through the entire trial, Aaron noticed Zyra's expressions. She watched intently, occasionally humming vibrations that conveyed recognition of the human's abilities. She had begun to see what he had been trying to demonstrate all along, that humans were not the physically strongest species, but they were clever, resourceful, and resilient. After several tense hours, the scouts finally retreated, seemingly defeated by a combination of strategy, technology, and the sheer unpredictability of humans. The forest outside was quiet once more, but the energy of the trial remained. Aaron's team was exhausted but victorious, having successfully protected the queen without unnecessary violence. Zyra moved closer to Aaron, her glow steady and her breathing calm. Human, healer, clever, brave, worthy. Aaron nodded, smiling faintly. We did it together, Queen Zyra. Humans and your species can achieve more when we trust each other. The queen hummed softly, a vibration of approval. She looked at the team and then back at Aaron, acknowledging not just their physical victory, but the intelligence, planning, and teamwork that had ensured her safety. Lyra approached, quietly recording the events. Captain, this is historic. They've never seen humans fight or think like this before. You've shown them our strengths. Aaron's gaze returned to Zyra. It's only the beginning. We have much to learn from each other, and together we can face whatever comes next. The cavern settled into quiet once more. Outside, the crystalline forest glimmered under the fading light, peaceful for now, but holding secrets of the dangers that might return. Inside, Aaron sat beside Zyra, realizing that the trial had done more than defend her. It had established a foundation of trust, respect, and partnership that could change the fate of both species. Zyra's eyes met his, glowing, faintly in the soft light. Human, healer, strong, different, worthy. Aaron smiled. Yes, Queen Zyra, we are different. But together, we are stronger than you realize. As the night approached, the team reinforced the barriers and prepared for rest, knowing that challenges would continue to come. But for the first time, humans and the alien queen faced the future not as strangers or enemies, but as allies, a partnership forged in courage, trust, and shared purpose. And as the glowing fungi cast gentle shadows across the cavern, Aaron knew the trial was only the first step. Greater challenges awaited, but now humans had proven that their minds, hearts, and courage could stand alongside alien power, and perhaps even guide it. The journey ahead was uncertain, but Aaron felt ready. With Zyra's trust earned, and the team's abilities tested and proven, the next chapter of this interstellar alliance could begin. The hidden cavern, once a temporary sanctuary, now felt like a small fortress. Crystal walls reflected the gentle glow of bioluminescent fungi, painting the room in colors that shifted like liquid rainbows. Outside, the crystalline forest was silent, but the tension from the previous trial lingered. Captain Aaron Vale stood near the queen, observing her carefully. Zyra had regained strength, her iridescent skin glowing steadily, but her eyes were thoughtful, as if she were measuring each human move. The morning began quietly. Aaron checked Zyra's condition, ensuring the healing gel had fully stabilized her wounds. She moved slowly, her movements graceful despite the previous injuries. It was clear that she was recovering faster than expected. a sign of both her advanced physiology and the care Aaron had provided. Zira watched the humans closely as they adjusted, the protective barriers and repaired equipment damaged during the recent trial. She hummed a low vibration which Lyra's translator converted. Curious, humans, adapt, well, Aaron smiled slightly. We survive by learning and adapting. It's how we explore, how we fight, and how we thrive. The Queen inclined her head, a silent acknowledgement of his words. Then she gestured for him to come closer. Human, healer, learn, rituals, must. Aaron stepped forward carefully. I will learn. I want to understand your people, your culture, and your ways. That way, I can help you better. Zira hummed softly, her glow pulsing in subtle patterns. She led Aaron to a secluded section of the cavern, where smooth stone platforms rose naturally from the floor. On each platform rested crystals, arranged in precise geometric patterns. The air here vibrated faintly, a subtle hum of energy that seemed almost alive. These rituals, Aaron said cautiously. What do they mean? How do they work? Zira's vibrations translated slowly. Trust, loyalty, connection, healer, must, prove. She paused, her glowing eyes fixed on him. Learn, respect, follow, carefully. Aaron nodded, understanding the importance. The rituals were not merely ceremonial, they were symbols of trust and bonds within her species. For humans it was unfamiliar territory, but he respected the rules. He knew that patience and understanding were often more powerful than any weapon. The Queen began the first ritual slowly, demonstrating each movement, each vibration, and the subtle way energy flowed through the crystals. Aaron watched closely, mimicking the gestures as best he could. At first his movements were clumsy, and the energy around him felt strange and foreign. But he persisted, adjusting to the rhythm and learning to sense the subtle vibrations of the crystals. Zira observed silently, occasionally humming soft encouragements. The translator interpreted them. Better, careful, human, attentive. Hours passed as Aaron practiced the rituals. Each repetition brought him closer to understanding, not only of the mechanics but of the underlying principles, trust, patience, and respect for life and energy. Zira's presence was calming, yet demanding, a reminder that mistakes could have consequences, but careful observation and humility could build bridges. By afternoon, Aaron began to feel the bond growing. He could sense Zira's energy in the crystals, a connection that seemed to flow through him and back again. It was not just a ritual, it was communication, a way to share trust and understanding beyond words. Zira spoke softly, the vibrations converting to human, healer, understands, rare, worthy. Aaron bowed his head slightly. Thank you, Queen Zira. I am learning. I want to earn your trust fully. The Queen's glow pulsed brighter, a sign of approval. Then she led him to a more challenging part of the ritual, a symbolic act of partnership. It required Aaron to touch a specific crystal, one that resonated directly with her energy. Hesitation was normal for anyone outside her species, and Aaron felt the weight of responsibility. Careful, Zira whispered, her vibrations soft but precise. Respect, only, trust, flows. Now. Aaron's hand moved slowly, lightly touching the crystal. A surge of energy passed through him, gentle but undeniable, linking him to Zira's presence. He felt her confidence, her authority, and her reliance on him simultaneously. The connection was intimate in its importance, a bond of mutual understanding rather than anything else. Steady, human, worthy, the Queen's vibrations translated. Aaron felt a quiet pride. This was more than a ritual. It was the solidification of trust between species, the beginning of something profound. Lyra and the rest of the team observed quietly. They could see the changes in the Queen, how she responded to human care and understanding. For them, it was a revelation. Humans could form bonds with even the most alien beings through patience, empathy, and courage. As evening approached, Zyra motioned for Aaron to rest. The ritual required focus and energy, and though humans were resilient, even Aaron needed time to recover. He sat beside her, observing the cavern and the forest beyond. The crystals glimmered faintly, reflecting the last light of the alien sun, while outside, the forest remained silent for now. Zyra hummed a soft vibration, translated as human, healer, trust, bond, grows, strong. Aaron smiled. And I will protect that bond. We can face anything together. The night passed quietly. The team remained vigilant, scanning the forest for movement, while Aaron continued small practices with Zyra, reinforcing the trust between them. She allowed him to adjust her posture, check her energy levels, and continue minor healing as needed. Each action strengthened their connection, showing that humans were capable of both intelligence and care in equal measure. The following morning, the Queen invited Aaron to accompany her outside the cavern. The crystalline forest stretched endlessly with light refracting through the towers and trees. Zyra moved carefully, testing her strength, while Aaron stayed close, ready to assist. Your species, humans, unusual, capable. She vibrated softly, not just survival, strategy, empathy, courage. Aaron nodded. We survive in many ways, Queen Zyra. Sometimes with strength, sometimes with intelligence, and always with heart. The Queen paused, looking at him with what could only be described as respect. Yes, human, worthy, strong, unlike others. Aaron realized that their bond was now more than trust. It was a partnership. Humans and Zyra's people could work together, combining knowledge, strategy, and empathy to face dangers neither could overcome alone. Suddenly, the ground trembled faintly, a reminder that the world outside was not entirely safe. Aaron's team immediately activated the protective barriers around the cavern and prepared for possible threats. The previous trial had taught them that danger could return at any moment, but now they faced it with confidence, strengthened by their growing alliance with the Queen. Zyra's glowing eyes focused on him. Human, leader, wise, brave, protector. Aaron bowed slightly. And I will remain so. For you, for your people, and for the bond we share. The rest of the day was spent in quiet preparation. Aaron practiced the ritual movements, reinforcing his understanding of Zyra's culture and energy flow. She guided him patiently, occasionally correcting small mistakes, always with a soft vibration that conveyed approval rather than reprimand. By evening, the team and Queen had settled into a routine. Humans worked with alien crystals, improving barriers and monitoring the surrounding forest. Zyra rested, her body recovering fully, while her mind trained Aaron in ways humans could only begin to comprehend. Aaron understood that these lessons were not just about healing or survival. They were about cooperation, mutual respect, and the potential for humans to prove themselves in a universe filled with unknown civilizations. As the cavern glowed softly, under the light of bioluminescent fungi, Aaron sat beside Zyra. Their bond had grown stronger, built on trust, patience, and shared understanding. Humans had once been strangers in this alien world, but now they were partners, allies, and a symbol of hope. Zyra hummed one last time before night fully settled. The translator converted it. Human, healer, bond, strong, together, future. Aaron smiled faintly. Yes, Queen Zyra. Together we can face the future, whatever it may bring. And with that, the alien night embraced them, a silent witness to a bond that could shape the destiny of two species. The journey was far from over, but the foundation had been laid. Humans had proven their courage, intelligence, and empathy. And now, With trust established, they could face whatever challenges awaited, side by side with the alien queen. The crystalline forest outside the hidden cavern was alive with tension. Shadows moved swiftly among the towering trees, and the soft hum of the planet's energy pulsed in rhythm with the queen's own presence. Captain Aaron Vale stood at the forefront of his team, observing the subtle movements in the distance. After days of careful preparation, the time had come. The rival factions that had once wounded Queen Zyra were regrouping, and this time, their intent was clear. They sought to capture her and overthrow her reign. Aaron looked to Zyra, standing tall despite her recent injuries. Her iridescent skin glowed steadily, a sign of her recovered strength and renewed determination. "Are you ready?" he asked, his voice calm yet firm. Zyra's eyes glimmered with quiet intensity. "Yes, human, healer, together. We face them." Aaron nodded, feeling a surge of confidence. Their bond was no longer fragile. It had been tested and strengthened through trust, healing, and shared strategy. Humans, he realized, brought a strength beyond muscle: creativity, adaptability, and courage. Traits that even the most advanced alien species could respect. The first wave of intruders approached, moving cautiously but decisively. Their armor glimmered in the alien sunlight, and their energy weapons were ready. But Aaron had spent days studying their movements, preparing defensive strategies, and coordinating with both his team and the Queen. "Remember," Aaron said quietly to his team, "this isn't just a fight. It's a test of our intelligence and adaptability. We protect the Queen, we protect each other, and we use our minds as much as our weapons." The intruders reached the edge of the forest clearing, unaware of the traps and energy barriers waiting for them. Aaron activated the protective fields around the cavern, and the barriers shimmered, forming an impenetrable shield. Energy pulses danced across the surface, creating illusions of additional defenders. The enemy hesitated, unsure how to proceed now, Aaron whispered, signaling the team. The humans moved with precision. They guided the intruders into narrow paths lined with reflective crystals, confusing them further. Low-frequency pulses from alien energy nodes caused disorientation, slowing the invaders without harming them. Aaron's plan relied on ingenuity, not brute force. Zyra observed from a safe distance, her glowing eyes tracking each movement. She hummed vibrations that the translator interpreted. Clever, human, leader, strong. Aaron smiled faintly. "Thank you, Queen. Your trust has given us strength." The battle intensified as more intruders advanced, determined to reach the Queen. But the combined forces of human ingenuity and alien technology proved formidable. Traps immobilized many of the attackers, while energy barriers redirected their movements. The humans adapted quickly to the unpredictable environment, using reflections, crystals, and strategic positioning to gain the upper hand. Zyra's presence inspired them. She had once been the symbol of vulnerability, but now she was a symbol of unity and resilience. Her guidance, combined with the humans' problem-solving skills, created a force that was both unexpected and unstoppable. Hours passed in a tense struggle. The intruders, frustrated by their inability to breach the defenses, began to retreat. Aaron seized the opportunity, directing his team to tighten the barriers and use coordinated energy pulses to prevent regrouping. One by one, the enemy units fell back, recognizing that they could not overcome the humans' strategy and the Queen's support. At last, the forest cleared. The shadows that had once threatened them vanished, leaving the crystalline landscape serene once more. Aaron lowered his weapon, breathing deeply but steadily. The trial was over, and for the first time, humans and the alien Queen could feel a sense of triumph. Zyra approached Aaron, her glow bright and steady. Human, healer, worthy, strong, protector, clever, brave, together, victorious. Aaron nodded, feeling both pride and humility. "We did this together, Queen Zyra. Humans, your people. We can achieve great things when we work as one." The Queen's eyes softened. Yes, human, bond, trust, future, strong, together, new path. Aaron understood. The triumph was not just a victory over an enemy. It was proof that humans could be trusted allies, capable of strategy, courage, and loyalty, even in the most alien circumstances. Their partnership had created a bridge between species, a foundation for cooperation that could reshape the future. Lyra and the rest of the team moved closer, checking the barriers and ensuring the Queen's safety. "Captain," Lyra said quietly, "this is historic. You've shown them the power of human intelligence, teamwork, and courage. They will not forget this." Aaron glanced at the Queen. "It's not just us. It's all of us working together. Humans and her people, side by side." The Queen stepped forward, touching one of the reflective crystals in the clearing. Its energy pulsed outward, a symbol of her approval and gratitude. Human, healer, trust, bond, honored, ally, together, stronger. Aaron bowed, slightly. "Thank you, Queen Zira. We will honor this bond and protect it always." The forest seemed to respond, the crystals glowing brighter and the air vibrating softly. It was a moment of harmony between two very different species, united by courage, intelligence, and respect. Humans had proven themselves, not through brute strength but through heart, mind, and adaptability. As night fell over the crystalline forest, Aaron and Zira stood side by side, the stars reflected in the crystal towers, and the gentle glow of the bioluminescent plants lit the clearing. The danger was gone for now, but the bond they had forged was permanent. Humans had earned the trust of the alien Queen and her people, establishing a partnership that could face any challenge. "Captain Aaron," Zira said softly, her vibrations conveying calm and authority. "Human, healer, strong, worthy, together, future, bright." Aaron smiled faintly. "Yes, Queen Zira, together we will face the future no matter what comes." The team gathered around, weary but proud. Each member knew they had been part of something extraordinary. Humans had proven that courage, intelligence, and empathy could thrive even in alien worlds, even when facing powerful enemies. The night passed quietly, and in the safety of the cavern, the Queen rested fully. Aaron stayed close, ready to assist if needed, but also reflecting on what had been achieved. They had survived the trials, protected the Queen, and formed a bond that would endure. By morning, the crystalline forest was calm, bathed in the light of a rising sun. The atmosphere was serene, but the promise of adventure and challenges still lingered in the air. Humans had earned respect, and the Queen's people had seen their value. Trust had been established, and a new chapter in interstellar cooperation had begun. Aaron looked at Zira, her glow bright under the morning light. "We have much to learn from each other," he said softly, "but together, we can face anything." Zira hummed, the translator converting it. "Yes, human, healer, together and strong, brave, future, a hope, alliance." And so, in the quiet crystalline forest, a partnership was solidified, a human and an alien Queen, united by courage, intelligence, and trust. The trials had ended, but the journey of understanding and exploration was only beginning. The universe beyond was vast and uncertain, filled with challenges, mysteries, and opportunities. Yet, for the first time, humans and the alien Queen could face it side by side, confident in their bond and in the strength of their alliance. Captain Aaron Vale had proven that humans were not only survivors, they were thinkers, strategists, and allies worthy of trust. And with Queen Zira by his side, the future was bright, filled with possibilities that neither species could have imagined alone. The adventure would continue, but now, humans had secured a place among the stars, not through force but through heart, courage, and the power of connection.